flotillas in the stream, hoping for what's true. I'm trawling for honor in this shallow pool. Borealis starlit crown arches over the Puget Sound. Berenice's hair drapes the horizon to full air. Where is my lucky star tonight? The seventh sister of the Pleiades walks in beauty like the night. Oh, that is best, dark and
Night Dreams Talk Radio, After Dark, wants to give a big shout out to all the truckers that listen to our show. Night Dreams Talk Radio Network brings you the World Paranormal News with James Creechbaum. Now, the latest news.
I'm James Creechbaum with the Paranormal and World News. Tucker Carlson, the Fox anchor, was recently on an episode of Ancient Aliens, and he was quoted while he was on the show saying that he overheard some officials talking about how the government has proof, physical proof and evidence of UFO alien visitation. Very interesting. Hopefully there's some more follow-up on that. He also went on to say that who pays the government? Who runs the government? We do. So we should have the right to know what's going on. Yeah, you can watch the episode. I actually seen it myself, and that's what he's quoted as saying. Also, the largest radar in Antarctica measures Earth's ionosphere for the first time. So apparently, researchers have used a radar in Antarctica to make the first measurements from the Antarctic region of the ionosphere, about 60 to 600 miles above the Earth's surface. So that ought to be interesting with all the changes going on with the Earth, the magnetic fields, and the ions. Lord only knows what's going on with them, especially over Antarctic or the Arctic. Today in Canada, commuters were forced to walk through subway tunnel after fire spreads through it. So that halted and caused a lot of backup and confusions. There's video of smoke pouring out of there as the poor people had to walk down and walk out the tunnel because of fires. Also today, spacewalk for repairs were underway outside the ISS station. That was today. A bunch premiers plan to cut emissions by going to nuclear power over fossil fuels and other things in Canada to try to cut back on and to help with the environment with global warming. And that's a big thing going on, just in the last few days. So they're trying to go that way to help the environment with nuclear power. Now, that's a whole nother can of worms that we've talked about before on this show. Recently, there was a fireball that may have been, according to scientists, an orbiting mini-moon. Scientists have discovered new evidence of a temporary moon burning up in the Earth's atmospheres. Recently, a big fire meteorite was seen, and one of the theories was it could have been a mini-moon. That's interesting. Also, a Bigfoot. A woman captured a video of a Bigfoot in Russia within the last few days, and that's been all over the internet. Again, you got to take those videos with a grain of salt, but it does look very compelling. I got to say, I did see it. Also, just D.B. Cooper, witness, finally shares his story with on an interview. That he was a passenger who sat near Cooper during his infamous plane heist, and he has spoken out about his experiences. Then there's going to be more about that coming out. Now, next news break, top of the hour.
You're listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark with our host, Gary Anderson.
Hey, that is me. Well, tonight is Monday, December the 2nd, 2019. Counting down the end of the year. Just a few more weeks left and we'll be into 2020. About the same as my vision was when I was a young kid. Well, tonight, one of our guests is going to be Jim Penniston. And if you don't know about him, well, he served in the Air Force. In 1973 for 20 years. But, well, his story tonight is going to be so interesting. It covers what happened in the UK next to a RAF airfield. Anyway, James, how are you doing? And hey, are you having a good Monday? Naturally, you are because you're on my show.
Yeah, that's what are you, psychic or something? Yeah, you're right.
Hey, a lot
that's
more
right.
psychic and a lot of them that charge $50 a reading.
That's actually pretty cheap. I've seen them 175, 200, 275. It's just I don't know. I guess whatever you feel like.
Okay, your keys are in your cookie jar.
I know they are. Will you tell me something I don't know?
I wasn't telling you. I was telling whoever out there has lost their keys. It's in their cookie jar. I'm sure out of all the listeners, maybe one of them put their keys and keys them in the cookie jar.
You know what? That's right. And you know,
that'll be $50.
I'm going to put it to you like this. I could be a master at that stuff because here's the thing. And you can watch all those old shows like Phil Donahue and all them ones. And talk shows used to bring, I won't say their names, and some of them psychics on, but they would say, they got a whole audience of 200, 300, 400 people out there, and they was, it's fishing. You pull out a name and it's me. Oh, yeah. And then they would say, there's a Charlie in your life, and they say, no, I don't know no Charlies. Then, so every no answer they get, they still write because, you know what they say? You just haven't come across them yet, or that event hasn't happened, but it will.
Yeah.
So they keep getting all these yeses, and you're thinking, boy, he's good. And all he did was just it's kind of a mind game, just a little fishing, and he really didn't. A real psychic won't even ask you a question. They'll just tell you what it is, and that's it, and be on with it.
How about the psychics? You go online, make a reservation, and then you give them your name and your address and all this stuff, right? And then you pay for the reading ahead of time. Now, isn't that kind of strange if you're going to give them your name, your address, and all this information, right? Hey, Google, you can find out a lot of interesting things about that person, their family, and get some, ideas, what they might even look like. You can sit there and say, oh, yeah, you're a blonde and you have shorter length hair. Oh, yes, and you wear glasses. Oh, yes, I do. Yeah, okay, come on, people. Do you really believe that? Oh, well, I do believe there's certain people that have certain gifts. But I don't believe every person who claims, quote, quote, on a psychic is a real psychic. They're really good. Remember the Three Stooges? One of their episodes as them being attorneys is called I Fleecin' You. Okay, I just think about that.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, those are some good stuff. But, and today, you brought up a good point. In today's world, especially if you got 3, 4 computers, you could have all kind of Googles up, pull up their pictures. You could really feed them stuff that they'll think, oh my goodness, this guy's good and everything. And it's not like that. It's just. But I have met some that that don't ask questions, just tell you what it is, and man, they're right. It's scary. And here's another thing. Look back just 20 years ago, Gary, 25, 30 years ago, how many psychics and mediums and all this was there? Not that many. Now today, you could probably go on Facebook alone.
Don't make me laugh. I'll pee my pants tonight.
Easily pop up a couple 100,000 of your choosing. I mean, it was just mind blowing.
Yeah, it's kind of scary when you think about it. And a lot of them, I have this special reading. It's Friday night. I'll give you a 5-minute reading for $25. Now, make sure when you contact me, you have your credit card handy. Yeah. Well, you know what? In the UK, this is according to the Mirror, that in McDonald's, there's a hack going around in the UK. It allows you to eat for free forever. Or till you get caught, one of the two. You know, in the UK, mostly you go in the McDonald's, you don't really see a person face to face much anymore. It's the machines. That's coming in our country too. You put your credit card in, punch numbers in of the food and whatever. Anyway, according to the Mirror, there's a hack that people found out and have been eating free from McDonald's.
I've been waiting for that to happen. You know, that's been here in my little town, USA, for the last year or better. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. They don't even want to wait on you. They got this two-sided machine in the middle when you walk up, and they want you to use it. And it's you know, Gary, I barely can type on a computer. I'm so illiterate.
Now, will you repeat that again?
I barely can type on a computer. I'm so illiterate. I'm like real old school. I'm like preschool old school. So
well, you're getting better.
But when I go to McDonald's, I don't want to get anxiety attacked by having to play with, make an order with this machine. My goodness, it just bothers me. Nobody wants to work no more.
Well, guess what? There's a city in Illinois that proves using marijuana, you're going to be taxed. Hey, they do it here in Washington State. You know, the taxes on that stuff is just like liquor. It's high.
Well, look at the tax on tobacco. It's through the roof. So it doesn't surprise me that there's going to be tax on that, too. Listen, if any taxation without whatever the word is there, but, you know, tax on tax, they got a chance to make an extra money on it. It's like a political thing. Yeah, we're going to pass this, but we're going to tax the crap out of you. It's a circle.
Well, you know what? They should have done it a long time ago. Let's face it. They just passed it in Canada, where it's going to be legal. I don't know how long it takes after it's passed, but you could buy anywhere in Canada pot legally. Now, I don't use pot. I just don't like it. I just never have. And I have my reasons, but I feel it's a lot safer than drinking alcohol. And you know, the point is, you know, if you use it right and do it right. In other words, don't you smoke and then go get on your motorcycle or get in your car and take off. That would scare me the same way if somebody was drinking. But you know what? It is a healthy way for the cities, counties, and governments to make more money on the taxes. Here in Washington State, we get taxed like for gas like you wouldn't believe. So if gas is $3 something a gallon, there's almost like $2 of it is on taxes.
Yeah, you know, I've got friends that live in California. They show me gas prices at like $4, $4.30, and it's like $2.30 here. But the thing is, it's all about the money. The reason why pot has been illegal in the United States is because there was more money to be made for it being illegal than being legal. Now, once those scales tip, it will be, as it's obviously done, because it's a little bit here and there, state by state, it's being more legalized. So, you know, I guess the scales are tipping. It's all about the money. You know that, Gary.
Well, everything is about the money and all that. Now, you were saying about a lady that had an encounter with a UFO when she was younger?
Yeah, actually, let me pull it. Yeah. Her name is Colleen Prettyman. Here's her report as she gave it to me. In 1974, these are her words, I was 5. My newly adopted brother came and we were on our way to church on a Sunday afternoon, early summer. We were driving west on Monte Vista Street, just west of 38th Street, when my dad pulled over to the side and both my parents were talking excitedly. Like, what is that? And we all got out and looked up, and there was a cigar-shaped UFO on fire, with fire literally dripping off it. This thing was so low you could see the beams in the windows, and they were terrified. The beams were terrified. I don't remember any